eventually. There we go. All right. So it does say it's recording. So with that being said, we would like to welcome Razor Sharp to our program. Welcome to Undrafted. Would you rather be called by your username or your real name?
Razor Sharp's very popular. My actual name is Jeff Goss. I originated in the small little town of West Branch, Michigan, where it's kind of funny. There was really no hockey, but I'll tell you the story how I became a hockey fan. And these days I reside in Traverse City. But yeah, you can call me Razor Sharp because the name's starting to get catchy and people are starting to hear about me. So we can go that route. But if people want to know what my real name is, it's Jeff Goss. So Goss.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jeff. So, like you said, West Branch, there's really no hockey, and I can definitely relate from where I'm from in Carroll, Michigan. There is absolutely no hockey around there other than about 15 minutes away. Yeah, and that's where Caleb's from. And when I say hockey, I mean there's Zamboni's a tractor. So.
Hey, it is a very fancy tractor. We went up to Canada to get the Zamboni. All right. But before we delve too deep into this interview with you, Razor Sharp, we have this segment, and we call it our opening thoughts. Let's hear, and our opening thoughts is anything that comes to mind. It can be an opening rant. It can just be anything you want. So let's hear your thoughts of the moment right now.
Well, first opening thoughts, I absolutely have to say yesterday was my birthday, and I was blessed to turn 45 years old. And, at the same moment, I'm not sure if it's the same day or the day before, one of the best coaches in the NHL lost his job, and Mike Babcock. And, all I got to say is you can have all the talent around you, but if you don't put the pieces together, sometimes it's the team that plays together. It's not just the most stars on the team. And that's really about what I've been thinking about hockey-wise is, wow, Mr. Babcock is actually gone, and where's he going next? And he's not very happy if you read the tabloids.
Good, I can honestly say good riddance to Mr. Babcock.
Did you expect that? Is his team just not performing?
It's more so. Caleb, you can go ahead. Caleb, go ahead because you've been keeping more of an eye on it. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So my take on Babcock losing his job is one, he cannot coach in high pressure situations. He has to have everything perfect and to the way he likes it. He is a cancer in the locker room where the vets don't want to come in and play for him, so it's hard to attract those top-tier free agents. And then he is extremely harsh on those rookies and young guys. So the young guys, the RFAs, the ones who are just getting off who are just becoming free agents, unrestricted, and they don't want to come play for him because he treats them so unfairly.
So we are heading into a realm where hockey coaching is changing, and you almost have to be a player's coach, right? Somebody that the coaches really or the kids love to hang out with and still be coachable, because it's not the old school where you can beat people down anymore.
Yeah, definitely. I'm in my first head coaching job right now. I moved 3.5 hours away from a home for a coaching gig, and I am definitely on a daily basis trying to figure out. There are some players that I know don't like me, and there are some players that I know adore me, and there are some players that just kind of tolerate me. And what it boils down to is right now we're winning, so it's good. But I kind of feel as it like the same way my dad used to say, I'm your dad, not your friend. Well, I'm your coach. I'm not your best. I'm not your bud. Like there are going to be times
exactly.
Strongly hate me, but honestly, we had a few players not show up to our game on Saturday. We still had a full roster, which was phenomenal. Oh, it was amazing. And with a couple of those players gone, I'm not going to mention them. I respect the heck out of them, but our locker room seemed to gel a lot better. So,
and you're talking about the Alpina North Stars, correct?
Yep, definitely.
Yep. Yeah, I had the pleasure to call one of your games there. You guys had like a exhibition game a few weeks ago, and first of all, I want to say thank you for letting me come up there to do that. And thank you for Mackenzie Drake, regardless of what people have said about him. He's the one who gave me that opportunity, and I soon found out a little bit about him. The kid is absolutely passionate. I'm not going to say anything bad. I think we all have a dream. But that was an amazing story to go up there and to call that level of hockey. And, I didn't really feel your team on the ice didn't make me feel like it was a beer league. You guys felt like you were semi-pro or maybe at a level close to that. You had some really good players on the ice, and I can only imagine where your team is going to go.
Well, we're working hard. Our upper office, our management is great, and he's done a bang up job of making sure that we've played the season and that we are all set for the future. Because when the IHL went under, we were pretty stressed out, but our GM and owner Miles made some phenomenal moves, and we'll have him on the show. He has agreed to be on here, and he's just done a phenomenal job at making sure that the players and the team is taken care of for the future, as well as right now, but in the future. But yeah, Jeff, it was awesome having you do that game because I used a lot of that game film, and I'm going to tell you what, I need to get you a legit awesome camera that can be connected up to the Wi-Fi so you can do it and get a headset and all that so you don't feel like, you have to zoom in with your phone. I couldn't imagine how difficult that is. Being a former cameraman myself, I couldn't imagine how difficult that was, and I don't want to. But
I appreciate that. I'm just a middle class guy living here in Traverse City. I don't have a lot of money. I actually have a wife and 6 kids, and we just find ways to make it. I don't have all the nice equipment, but I mean, anytime you guys want to invite me there, if you have the equipment, I'll put the headset on. Go. I have a headset now. It cost me $25, the one I'm using right now, and it's been working great. It sounds better in games, but there's something different about putting a $250, $300 headset connected to equalizers and everything through a system. If you guys want to see what I really sound like, you can go down my YouTube channel, Razor Sharp Hockey. Just search down the page and look for me calling the game between that was New Jersey Rockets versus Sioux Falls, and that was a national championship game, AAA last year, where I was working for the the New Jersey Rockets organization, and when they put the headset on me, and I'm all dressed up, shirt and tie, and I feel like the real deal. Wow, it really brings my voice to life, and I mean I sound good even on my phone, if you ask me. But wow, you give me the camera and the headset and the whole professional setup. Wow, I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to take a job from somebody.
Right. No, I guess you're there.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to add, Caleb?
Just honestly, it's great to hear about your story and everything. Just wondering what got you the most excited about being an announcer, and not just any announcer, but an announcer for hockey. Where did that passion come from?
So I grew up in a town of West Branch, and some reason I got turned on to Red Wings at a pretty young age. I believe it was one of my, of course, my father and my brother. And even though my mom and dad got divorced at a young age, I remember knowing about hockey as the low age, as young as 6 years old. And I remember becoming a fan, and my relatives just kind of not really being as interested as I was. And as time went on, I was watching all the Dead Wing games from the 1980s. You know what Dead Wings means?
Well, we're kind of in a similar period right now. So, yeah, I do.
Yeah, those were the days where we were just hoping to get a win. I remember when the Red Wings make it to the playoffs, it was a dream come true, and Yzerman couldn't do it all. And, just the passion grew because I watched so many years of struggles. And then, of course, when you get to 1997, 98, I'm in the Marine Corps at that time, and I happened to come back on leave and be here for the Stanley Cup when the Red Wings won in 1997, for the first time. In how many years? 42 years, I believe.
It was 53, wasn't it? Oh, 40. It might, something like that, yeah.
Yep. Well, 42-year drought, and the passion, just the fire grew. Just like when you wait that long for something big to happen for your team, you guys are saying it's a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I hear you there. I'm just
definitely
excited. I'm excited to see what our young core, our nucleus is going to develop into currently. So
for sure, and
we all understand that passion and the sticking with the team through the struggle years.
Definitely.
Yeah, I remember players like Sean Burr. You guys even remember players like that?
Yep,
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are my age. Sean Burr, Paul Eisebart. I can just start naming all kinds of names. The Keith Primo days. When we got Paul Coffey and we thought we had the answer, and then we made that trade. Was it Chris Draper? Was it a dollar trade? Was that true?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was kind of like a waiver situation, but it wasn't. But that's the closest thing you can compare it to. Something that wouldn't happen in the salary cap era today.
And boy, were they smart. In came, Kenny Holland came in and just decided, let's start going overseas and let's build a team from people from Europe. And I don't know if anybody had ever thought of that before him, did they? Was that real popular?
They tried, but the USSR just would never let them get away with it. It boiled down to, if you've ever seen, what was it, Red Army, Caleb?
The Russian 5.
Yeah.
The Russian 5.
Good.
The Russian 5, that's what it was.
Good movie.
They explained how, what was it, the Red Wings, Blackhawks, and the New Jersey Devils were the three teams that really fought hard to get Russian players, to the point where they went in like the middle of the night into these dudes' locker rooms when everybody was asleep, and they snuck like players like Fetisov, Konstantinov, Fedorov, Larionov, all these guys all out in the middle of the night, and took them to the closest airport they could, and they put like hoods over their heads. I mean, you're hearing some insane stories about it.
I had no clue. I need to either read that book or watch the documentary,
Awesome.
The Russian 5. I believe it came out. I still haven't looked it up. But getting back to the question, so the passion came from a lot of years. I remember being such a passionate fan that back in the day we had VCRs, right? And I would record a Red Wing game, and I watched so many Red Wing games. I think my abilities came from seeing so many styles of announcers, from Dave Strader to Bill Thorne, Gary Clement, Gary Thorne, Bill Clement, right? Did I get it right?
Yeah, Gary Thorne was awesome.
Gary Thorne, Bill Clement, and then I would start venturing out to listen to other games when satellite came, and I learned about Jim Houston from the Canucks up in Vancouver and then I started hearing a lot of styles on video games, believe it or not. We heard a lot of styles announcing on video games as well. But it would come from I would watch a Red Wings game 3 more times before they even had their next game come up. I was nuts. And that's the kind of fan I was. I had to see the plays over and over. And we didn't have technology like today. But you had to rewind the VCR tape and watch it. And my mom would always be like, "Why aren't you doing your homework?" I'm watching a Red Wings game.
Right. Well, now you can tell your mom, "Look, I was doing my homework. Now look what I'm doing."
Right.
Exactly. Well, we're getting there. So as time would go on, went in the Marine Corps. I never was in organized hockey myself, but I got into inline hockey out in California and got pretty into that, and then moved to Florida after the Marine Corps and became a great inline player down in Florida. And I guess if you fast forward, what happened was my son, who's 11 years old, walked up to me after doing a whole summer of BMX and being pretty promising in BMX, told me, "Dad, at the end of the state race, somebody ruined my chances to win a medal because they just knocked me off the track." And he said, "I'm not playing this sport anymore. I'm going to be in a sport that nothing can get in the way if I work hard and I get out there and do it." So he comes up to me and he says, "You guys watch hockey every day. I've decided, I've done all my research. I'm going to be a hockey player because there's so much more ability in that sport than anything else I've seen." So to make a long story short, Alec Goss is my son. He's 11 years old. He's a talented player. He made travel hockey in 3 years. And that's pretty fast. And he put passion into me. And one day he was playing, and I just grabbed my phone and said, "I'm going to call play-by-play." And it all started right there when my son was he was a mite. He wasn't even a squirt yet. Yeah. And then squirts came. Next thing I know, I was calling entire seasons for his team. And the story just grows. The passion is there, but I love doing it for kids because kids never get to have their name called. So that's where it all came from. And the sky is the limit. It's in God's hands. But, man, hockey rules. That's all I got to say.
Good. All right. Well, I think with that being said, we want to thank you, Jeff, for being on the podcast today. And we'll be putting this out shortly, so definitely subscribe to us. And for you guys, go ahead, Jeff, and say your YouTube channel and your social media so we can get you some more people.
I appreciate that. So I have a YouTube channel called Razor Sharp Hockey. And by the way, any fans out there that love your Alpena team, you can go back and watch that expedition game I called versus, I believe it was Muskegon.
Mm-hmm.
Was that, and enjoy that. That was a really fun game to call. And I hope to do more for you, Ryan, if you guys invite me down there. I mean, It's all about getting chances. I'm not necessarily looking for the money because I know the money's not there at this time. But I definitely would love to have as many people want to follow and share Razor Sharp Hockey. I'm also on Facebook. I have my own Facebook. You can see me putting up the games weekly of what games I do for the teams I do it for. And if you want to know me in a personal manner, I'm Jeff Goss. You can get to know me as just the guy who's behind Razor Sharp. So that's GOSS. You can find me on Facebook. You'll see hockey all over my site or all over my Facebook page. And it has been my pleasure to sit with you guys today and share my story. And I really appreciate this, guys.
Oh, no problem, Jeff. Thank you for popping on here, and good luck at your game today.
Thank you. You guys have a good rest of your session.
Thanks, you too.
Yep. See ya.
Yep. Bye.